Click broadcast, start streaming. Here I am. Hold on, need to fix something with my sprite first. Ah! Ah, there we go. So, yeah. I'm playing this game. 'Cause I can. And it's not like you guys can stop me. 'Cause, like, internet. Eh. I'm just gonna wait for people to get here first. If nobody's here within the next 3 minutes, I am playing it. Oh my god, hello, MetGamer69, a person who I totally do not know. How art thou? Why is my sensitivity? I fucked it up. There we go, much better. Very good, I'm glad you're very good. Who's ready to go see? Why am I doing this with my life? Okay, by the way, this is a blind reaction. I have never once seen anybody play this game, or anything. But I have heard of it, so I was like, yeah, let's play it. Ah, good old road trip. By the way, even though I am a voice impressionist, I can do neither of the hot old men's voices, okay? Neither of their voices I can do. That'd be a cool game. Thank you. I'll make sure to take that into consideration. Despite the channel being very FNAF surrounded, I like playing other games on here too. How am I getting so many viewers already? Jesus Christ. Hold on, I need to check if you guys can hear the music. No, I don't know the game name. Anyways, back to the game. Good old road trips, full of promise and ripe with potential for adventure, soul-searching, and incredible scenery. Or at least that's what you thought before the novelty wore thin. As of now, your legs are cramping up, you've exhausted your travel playlist 2 times over, and your stomach is begging for something to eat. On top of all that, you're pretty sure you're lost. Driving through Oregon paints a picture of trees, trees, and more trees, and especially on the endless winding roads that you've taken up north, all that breaks the pattern as a sign that zips past with the words you're just able to make out, Gravity Falls. The road continues on, giant redwoods looming on both sides. You find yourself anticipating something, because if you drive on, you can feel it. Something strange is bound to happen here. Man, I wonder what's happening! Something weird. That's when it happens. Your car picks up speed. The change came out of nowhere, and you quickly put your foot on the brakes, but horrifyingly, the car seems to be driving on its own willpower. Trying to stay calm despite the panic welling in your chest, you pull the emergency brake only to find that the car resists and keep moving forward like something is pulling it. The car begins to rattle, the wheels screeching against the country road, and you're screaming until CRASH! There's smoke. Oh shit, here we go again. There's smoke. Why is there smoke? You fumbled for the door and managed to just undo the lock before the door is wrenched outward from your grasp. Something lands on your shoulder and are you alright? Ah! Ah! It's him! He's appeared! It's him! Ah! Stanford, hi, hi. Standy's nuts! Shut up! A man stands at your open car door, his hand on your shoulder, leaves to tilt your head up, and he pulls a flashlight from his coat, shining into your eyes. 2 blinks, and he lets your chin go. His eyes dart over the rest of you, looking for injuries. Still stunned, all you do is watch. What's your name? Regular person. Putting in Bill Cipher, or just Bill in general, won't work, so we'll have to name ourselves Silbifer if we want to do that. But what? Stop looking at me like that, Stanford! What do you mean you wonder how many he has? Hold on. We're just going with William. Sure I can't choose custom? Sure I can't choose custom? Can I not choose custom? William, I'm Stanford Pines, Ford for short. I would shake your hand, but you look shaken up enough as it is. You seem fine as far as I can tell, but you shouldn't head back out there anytime soon. Where on earth were you driving in such a hurry? You open your mouth to explain when a voice calls from inside the house. Poindexter's better not be one of your experiments again. I've had this place rebuilt too many times to... Oh my god, there he is! It's the other one! I like Stanford more. The owner of the voice walks out of the house and stops slack-jawed at the sight of your car. In the side of, you're guessing, his house! You must have hit your head earlier because you could swear you're seeing double. Man. Why is there 2 of them? I wonder why there's 2. It's almost like they're twins or something. Sweet Moses, Ford, you've done it this time? What? This had nothing to do with me. I was testing my magnet gun and must have pulled this victim of circumstance into the house. I suppose it is entirely my fault. I'm incredibly sorry. Cry! I like that one of the options is just cry. Oh, I don't want to click cry though. I want to reassure him. We're gonna save at that part. We're gonna click reassure him. I'm not sure why you're reassuring this mystery man who just wrecked your car. You give an awkward shrug. It's alright. No, I must have done something wrong. A wire mix-up, perhaps? Or the potentiometer, or whatever that said. I'm talking about your other mistake, Sixer. Alright. Look, it's fine. I'm sure there's a dent in the hood from the shack's signage, and a crack in the windshield that looks like an ominous triangle, but I'm certain she'll run. You try to start up the car, it sputters, but ultimately nothing happens. You feel like crying. Oh. Well, let's call a tow truck for this unfortunate soul here and forget. I'll take care of it. You're right, it is cheaper to tow it yourself. Sixer, get that magnet gun out again. Also, by the way, if you guys look at the thumbnail for the video, I usually make good ones, but I had to rush this one in Microsoft Paint. Because I really wanted to just get to playing the game. Oh, Stanley, I'm going to fix this. What? You fix this mess? Figured out a few alien vehicles in my time. Are you kidding me? It takes some sort of miracle worker to bring this baby back to life, and this miracle worker is on vacation. Stanley, a moment. Ford and Stanley turn away, and you're left to your thoughts. Who could anticipate a car accident in the middle of a road trip? Take care of the car, but how are you going to get home? They run buses out here, right? So, you take a bus out here and then... Oh no! Stop looking at me like that, Stanford. You're not helping. So there's a few options. My brother Stanley here can give you a drive out of town to find a place to stay the night. Or you could stay the night here. We have some maps and information you can look at in the gift shop, and in the morning we can help you with the car. What do you say? Just as you're about to answer, another high-pitched voice comes from inside the house.
Grunkle Stan, picture this! A whole week of— oh my gosh!
The girl that runs out of the house comes to a halt at the sight of your car. Oh great,
Grunkle Ford?
why is that everyone automatically thinks I'm at fault? It's not your fault, Stanford! It's not your fault, Stanford, don't worry. Nothing's your fault. Don't worry, it was all entirely my fault for existing. Well, this time it is my fault, but I've invited William to stay here with us for the night if they'd like. I'm sure I can fix this, but I'll just have to figure out how. Stanley sighs. I can take a look. Yeah, being on vacation's pretty boring, and the old Stanmobile hasn't needed tune-up yet, so if it wouldn't be too bad to put to work on something in the meantime.
Mabel D's nuts! Stop!
Thank you, Stanley. I'm sure I can put something together from the gadgets I have laying around if you need any specialized tools to help you with the job.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel. You can ask me anything. I pretty much know everything there is to know about this place.
Wait, hold on. I haven't said anything yet. I appreciate your offer to let me stay. And to repair your car. Yeah, it'll be good as new in my hands. I mean, look at my Stanmobile. She's been through the ringer who knows how many times, and she's still a beaut.
He keeps D's-nutting the child! D's nuts!
He points out a red car parked in the distance away. You can't really see how beautiful it is at this distance, but he sounds really confident. Fortress. Free repairs? Free lodging? There's no better deal to be found than if things don't work out, the town probably has some sort of auto repair shop you can head to instead. Well, I accept. Thanks for the help. Ah, my apologies again. What an embarrassment. I must have made such an elementary mistake. As the pines lead you inside the house, Mabel leaves her number in your phone for you to call whenever, and you found out that Ford's twin goes by Stan. No! 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 Stop D's-nutting everyone! This part's the house, but outside that door is the Mystery Shack. Have you ever been to the Mystery Shack before? I wanted to, actually. I saw a bumper sticker while I was on the road and got curious. You're interrupted by a loud, triumphant ha! Those bumper stickers were a good investment. Sixer says they're too plain and graphically simplistic, and don't even have an address on them. Stanley, how is anyone supposed to find the place to attract customers? Sixer, did you hear that? Well, they are graphically simplistic. I don't know how they found the place, let alone thought What is the Mystery Shack was compelling. Kinda liked it. See, they kinda liked it. Hey, I like you, William. I ought to give you a tour sometime tomorrow, regular price.
Tomorrow? I'll have to squeeze. Then I'll have to squeeze all my get-to-know-you questions in today. William, tell me, Capybara, yes or no?
In that moment, a boy passes the hallway at the far door, and Ford calls out to him. Dipper, my boy! I'm surprised I didn't see you run out to the scene of crime. Why does he look so shocked? He's like, what do you want from me? Crime? What crime? I have an alibi. I swear. Oh. You have someone with you. Hey, I'm not suspicious at all. Did you guys see that car in the side of the shack, though? For a second, I thought the Manitars were back with a grudge. Yes, about that, Dipper. Meet William. I've, stranded their car here by accident. They're staying here for the time being. Sorry, stranded their car here? You crashed it?
Yeah, the S in shack fell off it and everything, and the windows are cracked.
One window. The windshield.
William was lucky to make it out alive.
They were fine. No injuries, thankfully. The magnet gun's rather safe, despite never having been tested in a formal setting. Yeesh, did you not, take safety precautions or anything? Actually, the irony of the situation is that I was trying to install a safety precaution. Hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd talk, I'm gonna get William set up. Maple Sweet, why don't you show William around? Let them stay in, the storage room. That's still empty, right?
I'll make it empty!
The rest of the day consists of Mabel showing you the storage room you'll be staying in, then the kitchen, then the living room, the hallway, and the bathroom, and pretty much a comprehensive tour of all the mundanities of a regular house. Eventually, you find out the family's even more extended than you knew. The decorative doolies make a lot more sense knowing a grandmother normally lives here and her grandson, Zeus. Or was it Zeus? Whatever the name, you look forward to meeting him when he comes for work in the morning. When you go up to the attic, Mabel opens the door to reveal Dipper, nose stuck in his book, but you catch him occasionally glancing up at you as he pretends to read. Meh. What? The next member of the family snorts up at you from Mabel's bed. A rotund pig, who Mabel declares is her best friend and partner in crime, waddles. The two are a perfect match, right down to the chubby cheeks and the boopable noses. And in the evening, though you've still been in disbelief over the state of your car, the family eating dinner and after TV. Marathon, you've been invited to, made it seem like a normal guest stay rather than a forced circumstance. Returning to the storage room Mabel had shown you earlier, find a mirror mattress waiting for you and the more pillows and a sheet summer night warrants. Bill! 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 Bill Sy, the triangle guy! Hello, Jimmy Sticky. Yeah, now that I think about it, out of context, the video title is really weird.
Man, these old men are hot!
You wake up to the weak glare of sunlight streaming through the small, high window in the wall. You can't remember your room having this kind of feature, or any hotel or motel for that matter, and then yesterday it comes crashing back to you. You glance at the time, you see you've slept into the afternoon. Experience of the accident must have left you tired out. Despite having been reassured yesterday evening that you were free to anything in the fridge, you still feel like you're imposing on the Pines family and trying to prepare as polite a guest breakfast as you can. You wash your dishes in the sink before you leave. Just as you're about to exit the kitchen, you bump into Ford. Yay! Excuse! Yes, from yesterday, of course. For a good solid moment, Ford regards you in awkward silence. Anyways, Ford clears his throat. I believe Stanley's taking a look at your car outside if you want to be there for it. You even nod and make to leave for real this time when Ford speaks up again. William, I'm sorry for the accident. I'm sorry again for the accident. If I'd been smarter about it, well, let's just say it's entirely my fault. You shouldn't worry about this at all. When it comes down to it, Stanley does have a knack for cars. I predict you'll be back on the road in a matter of weeks. Weeks. You can't keep the dismay off your face, and you can't really bring yourself to try to either. What am I going to do with weeks? Ford, who's gone kind of uncomfortable and closed off when your face fell, recovers at the prospect of a question he can answer. Well, there's a town to tour, of course, and the Mystery Shack. You ask me, all that pales in comparison to... Hold on, do you hear that? Ford turns to the kitchen doorway to investigate. Sounds like... Sound comes again and you hear this, well, the squeal of a pig, followed by a choir of quick footsteps running down the stairs. Waddle tumbles past the open kitchen doorway and Mabel comes out in view and soon. A few sheets of paper clutched in hand. Ford steps quickly out of the kitchen as he follows to the doorway, getting there just in time to see the apparent tug-of-war between Mabel and her pig over a saliva-covered sheet of paper. Paper rips, and after nearly toppling backward from her effort, Mabel recovers, snatching the scrap of ripped paper from Waddle's jaws and lifting in both pieces victoriously.
Ha! Mabel wins again! Now I just gotta find Grunkle Ford!
Ford, who'd run over and held a hand out to steady this energetic child when she'd been in danger of toppling over, now finds numbered of crumpled sheets of paper shoved into his hands. Mabel tugs urgently at his coat.
Grunkle Ford, you have got to help me!
Ford kneels down to Mabel with a serious, though concerned look. Slow down, Mabel. What's the matter? Deeper found a stack of pages from your old journal, and I walked in, and Waddles ran up and started eating, and one of them chewing on him to warn me. Grunkle Ford, because look! Mabel takes the ribbed half of paper back from Ford's hands and joined them together, holding it up for Ford to see.
They are not villagers! They are not villagers! Banned! Die! They are not villagers! I hope you'll explode! That's just the character design! It's cartoonish!
See, and you took it as a warning?
Yes, it says here that it eats small dogs, and Waddle's a small pig, but he sorta looks like a dog from far away, and Waddles must have feared for his life. Stop saying you see it! Leave him alone!
Waddles seemed to second at this notion with a snort, or not, as it seems the pig is lounging adorably a short distance away in the hallway. You can't imagine what this dangerous predator could be. Some kind of wolf? Something bigger? You're suddenly not so keen on staying anymore.
Remember the pterodactyl I told you about? Waddles was so scared at that time, I can't let him lead my side. Pterodactyl?
You suppose pigs are allowed in museums around here. How about I finish that repellent I never got around to completing? That'll keep Waddles safe from harm. Mabel flops down on the floor in relief.
Grunkle Ford, you are an actual lifesaver. Waddles, you have nothing to fear.
Ford chuckles, lifting himself out of a kneel and standing back up. Alright, I'll go get my recipe. Ford turns to leave, and you suddenly remember that with nothing better to do for the weeks you're going to be here, wouldn't it hurt to get to know Ford? He seems to know what there is to do around town anyway, and you'll need that to not die of boredom in the first week. Nah, I don't want to go out. I could just stay with you, Ford. I could just stay with you if you're fine with that. I could just stay with you. What do you say? You don't say anything. Stop looking at me with that grin. Your face is half chin. Or more pressingly, go check on your car and see what Stan's made of it for so far. You're not exactly eager to see your face. Seeing your car on the side of the house again, though. Get to know Ford! Ford, wait! Can you handle with that recipe? I can handle it myself. You sure you couldn't use a hand? Aye. Ford looks away and then follows an inverted line of sight of Mabel, who just mouths something you couldn't catch. When she catches you looking her way, Mabel gives a 100-watt smile. The picture of innocence. Ford rubs the back of his neck. Yes, I suppose I can accept some help. And with that assured Ford is on the task, you spot Mabel rolling away with Waddles into the living room. Before we get started, I suppose I should give you an introduction. William, tell me, do you believe in the supernatural? Well, you're about to come face to face with the unexplainable yourself. See, Gravity Falls is some quiet, unassuming backwater town. Much more lurks below its surface. Ford pockets the crumpled journal papers just for you to join him as he walks. You do and follow him through the living room into the gift shop. For example, you must have heard Mabel mention a pterodactyl. Most people would say none exist in the living world today, but I say not if you know where to look.
Bill doesn't appear in this! Bill doesn't appear in this!
Ford reaches under the cashier counter and retrieves a package of vintage-looking gum, inspecting it for a moment before slipping it in his pocket. He looks around in thought. Hold on to my explanation for the moment. I need to retrieve some more supplies. Ford ushers you out of the gift shop entrance so that you find yourself on the outside of the shack, then shuts the door behind you. Okay. I'm a good person! Same. Slayer Ratman. Slayer Ratman. Hold on. Slayer Ratman. That is the most relatable thing I've ever heard. Anyways, back to the game. Maybe scan the sky for a pterodactyl while you wait. Not too long later, the door opens up behind you and Ford joins you outside looking no different than before. He must have stored whatever supplies he went to retrieve in his coat, but the trench coat falls too naturally on his figure for him to be hiding much. Yeah, that's a... That coat looks really good on you, Ford. Matt Gamer 69, do not say that! How dare you put those thoughts into my head? Those thoughts are for me and me alone to put into my head. I know you have the funny number in your name, too! Were we? Ah, yes. Ford pulls out a pen and pad of paper from his coat, walking as he writes. Just as you're about to head out, he stops and smacks his hand to his face. Oh, shoot, 1 second. Hurries back into the house, realizing he forgot one important nature to this adventure, butterfly net. You get a chance to ask, he strides out ahead of you, obviously, in no mind to tell you what it's quite for yet. There, you walk past the shack and down a well-worn path into the trees surrounding the house, sunlight peeking between the pines. He double-checks whatever he scribbled onto the paper and tucks back into one of his coat's seemingly infinite pockets. He stops and turns to face you with a definitive nod. Yo, guest! Jesus, man, chill! Jesus! He's a triangle! Also, that's Ford's job! Literally. Slayer, that is literally it. Literally. 100% it. Man, I'm dead. My recipe for repellent is called for a sprig of lavender, 2 thin slices of ginseng, a drop of bat blood, a chunk of amber, and 3.5 milliliters of ink. Pauses, staring down at the path in thought. Obviously, I already have all those components on hand, all except for one last ingredient, a single moth swing from Mothman itself. You can't help it. You gasp. Ford glances at you and think you might see a hint of a smile before he turns back to continue long wind ruffling through his hair. Your glorious hair, Stanford. Your glorious hair. You're already out of food and drink? Go get more! You see, Mothman is the very creature on the page that Waddle seemed to fear using a piece of itself should ward it away, or at least it led to believe that Waddles isn't for eating. Oh, his hair is what? Guest! Chill, man! Also, yes, his hair is 100% soft. I am telling you, that man brushes his hair every, 4 minutes? I would have already completed the repellent years ago if I managed to collect that wing. Was it too difficult? Oh, I just never got around to it. Besides, Mothman used to come and bat at this lamp I had lit out in the backyard. It seemed like such an innocent hobby that I never had the heart to chase it off. But if this brings Mabel and her pig a peace of mind, then my time has come to finish this. Sunlight filters through the trees, causing a dappled shadow across Fort Coat as it leads in front of you. Wait for him to speak. Ford glances back at you. You know, for Gravity Falls locals, encounters with strange creatures like Mothman are commonplace. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to seeing what a tourist will think of true oddities of this town. Come here, boy! Guest! Jesus, man, chill! Robert! Robert, no! Robert! How do you know so much about this stuff? I study anomalies, anything unusual, strange, and just plain weird. I began my research in this town because it was and remains a hotbed of paranormal activity. I made this exact trip years ago, though at the time I had no idea where I was going. It was just dumb luck that I managed to tail Mothman back to its cave from my backyard. Navigating the forest by moonlight is pathetic but not advisable. I made plenty of other discoveries as well, from fairies... Huh?
Sorry, y'all, I'll be back. Somebody needs something from me.
Okay, y'all, I will be back. Just a second. We're leaving Florida on screen because... why not? Y'all don't be crazy in chat. MegGamer69, I am granting you... MegGamer69, you are now a standard moderator for my channel. Make sure nobody is crazy. I will be back! Because I know who MegGamer69 is. I don't know who you are, Slayer Ratman. Maybe. What's going on? Oh, well, I'm glad Guest is gone. Well, I mean, still in stream, but like... You can be funny to the point where everybody thinks it's funny, but if it gets to the point where people aren't having fun anymore and it's actually annoying or being rude, don't do it. Anyways, back to the game. I made plenty of other discoveries as well, from fairies to gnomes to amalgams of creatures who were never meant to cross to... wait! Okay, Slayer Rat, stop! Okay, Ford reaches into a pocket and pulls out the slightly crumpled pages Mabel had pushed into his hands earlier, smoothing them out and shuffling through them. Take a look at these. They're definitive proof, then just my word. You accept the pages from him, and find they're scanned pages from some sort of journal. Just as you hear Mabel say, fluid cursive tells of Mothman, bear cubs, campfires, and more. Ford gestures to them and explains, I detail my discoveries in a series of research journals, the remaining pages at least. Wonder where Stanley was keeping these. You drew these? Yes, of course, who else? So, me and my friend, my online friend, we made a Gravity Falls AU where everything's the exact same except Ford was, like, terrible at drawing. Because we're stealing Bill's ex-boyfriend plus his brother. Ex-boyfriend being Stanford, ex's brother being Stanley. They're so photorealistic! I've seen better! I've seen better! I don't want to be mean to him. They're so photorealistic! Work is now far better, but I appreciate the compliment. Despite his understated words, Ford looks surprisingly pleased. Must have gotten up to some crazy stuff back then. That was one way to put it, only it took 6 years for me to get in over my head. He takes a silent moment to look away from your gaze, seemingly in bittersweet remembrance. You fucked the triangle, didn't you? I mean, I would take him back to my place, but as you know, I was going on a road trip and then my car crashed because of him, but don't worry, forgive and forget, girlies. Extremely, some were worse, dangerously annoying. Man, I wonder who! Ford seemed to find his own comment amusing. He didn't fail to notice your unease. I do have weapons in case things escalate, so there's no need to worry. Brought weapons? Not many. I have my stun gun, my fists, and my sharp wit. I feel safer already. You didn't bring your magnet gun? I thought it would be prudent to leave its magnetic fields alone for a while until I have the time to optimize it. See, I was trying to widen the area of the magnetic influence, but it's been a while since I last worked with the gun. I need to refamiliarize myself with its inner workings. Yes, I switched a wrong wire or two and instead narrowed the beam. I'd like to see how it works sometimes. Really? You know, if you're interested in devices like that, my old research colleague, Fiddleford, would have more to show you. He's the engineering genius around here. Ask him about these creatures. I I'm just gonna ask him about the gnomes and then walk in silence. Other places have rats, mice, or insects as house pets. We have gnomes. Picture a typical garden gnome, but more disturbing. Walk in silence. Suddenly, Ford puts an arm out in caution, slowing his pace. You narrowly manage to not collide into him. Oh! And take a quick glance around to see nothing. Look! There! A bundle of plaid shirt moving along the forest floor. Wait, is that a beaver's tail? It looks like a platypus. A platypus. Platypus. Oh, what are you doing all the way out here? You mean a platypus? Ford shakes his head with a grin. I mean, when I said it's a platypus. A platypus. Moves into crouch, but stays at a respectful distance, following the small creature. You watch him, and after a moment, mimics his actions. Ford gives the creature a bright smile, and it's the first of its kind you've ever seen since leaving Mabel at the Mystery Shack. You're a cute one, aren't you? And one of my favorite patterns, too. Ford motions you to move a little forward more to the distance he's maintaining. If I were to rate the oddities that live in this forest on a scale of least to most annoying, these little guys would get immunity. They've done nothing wrong, and I appreciate that for it. Bury the platypus! We meet again! Platypuses have done nothing wrong. The two of you watch a quiet appreciation. The platypus ambles into the underbush and vanishes from view. How could we kiss? I mean, what a cute little guy. Two of you continue deeper into the forest. The foliage seems denser now, and you look through the treetops for a glimpse of the sun, which has, by now, dropped low into the sky. Already been getting late when you left, but you hadn't thought Mothman would be this far out. Almost as he thought he'd read your mind, Ford answers you. Mothman is rather reclusive, and as such, lives deeper within the forest than bolder creatures like the gnomes. What? Yeah! You alright? Huh? That is, are you tired at all? I should have asked sooner. It's just been a long time since I've traveled with anyone new. Stanley tends to speak his mind without my asking. I'm worried about getting stuck out here at night. No, I'm not! I mean, if we had to stay the night out here, I mean, I wouldn't mind. If it was a totally drastic measure or anything, I totally won't sabotage it. If it was a totally drastic measure or anything or something that we had to stay the night out here, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I can treat you better than that triangle! Anyways, fine, really. I'm glad to hear it. Still, we have some time until sunset. Let's wait here in the meantime. Why does he talk so much? Jesus! This is worse than Dial Town. I mean, I love Dial Town, but, like, the characters talk so much. And my mind won't let me read them in my head because that'd be, like, rude. And for you guys have to read them. So I read them out loud for you guys. But my thing is, I also talk very fast. You mentioned traveling with Stan? I suppose it wouldn't do any harm to tell you. He says that, but his tone of voice says he's been dying to tell somebody for months. I've been sailing with Stanley around the world, chasing after hotspots of anomalous activity. He seemed to view it as a vacation, but I saw it as a chance to pick back up on some serious research. I'm rather eager to break the news of what we found to the world, but I must organize my findings. And if I'm honest, I still need some time to get back into the swing of things. Must be strange to come back home after traveling so long, huh? More than you know. Man! I wonder where you were for so long. I totally don't know. Ford laughs, shake his head. Behind his glasses, his eyes are downcast. Almost sad. You want to ask, but decide to stay silent. I shouldn't stay silent. When the sun touches the horizon through the gaps of the forest, Ford gestures for the two of you to continue. I hadn't noticed, but you've been resting within a short distance of a small clearing that holds a cylindrical stone marker. The stone marker bears intricate swirls carved into its surface. Ford reaches into his coat and produces the packet of gum from earlier, opening and dumping out pieces into his palm. Gum? Thanks. Sure why you came all the way out here to unwrap gum at sunset. You accept a stick of gum. Ford puts the remaining gum in his coat breast pocket. Can I have that gum instead? He unwraps the now empty gum packet to reveal that it was hiding something, a small piece of parchment folded up to act as lining. He smooths it out against the stone, holding it under the deep orange red of light sunset. You take a step closer to look over Ford's shoulder. The parchment holds a detailed drawing of the swirls carved into the stone, documenting every crack on the surface as you watch a golden cursive. It folds itself onto the page, seemingly fueled by the sunset's warm light. Ford reads the words as they appear. Such a place the Mothman doth rest. But please do not disturb his nest. If kindness be something thou bereft. Ford lifts the parchment a little hard to prevent his shadow from obscuring the rest of the line. Follow thy nature and turn left. I think we turn right! I think you should answer this one. The answer is clearly left. Let us continue onward.
I mean, is it left? I mean, we could get lost. If you want. I would hate it if we got lost in the forest all alone, me and you, and we had to stay the night out here.
Should have gone right. I should have gone right. He probably would have said no anyways, man. From its depths, you hear a faint sound of dripping water echoing off the cave's shadow-shrouded walls. You slow as your eyes attempt to adjust to the low light. Yo, blue looks very good on you, Ford. Ford pauses in front of you, reaching into his coat for something. Hold on, I have a flashlight in here somewhere. The cave has never received much natural light. You see, and you rummage further, and you see a couple dice, a pad of paper from earlier, and a quill. He has some custom pocket work going on in there too, and you bet one of his coat's inner pockets has a pen protector in it. Ha ha. Here we are at last. Allow me to. Darn, out of batteries. Wait, I think I have one. Pull out your phone and turn on its flashlight. The light is small, but it does its job. Huh, you save our hides there, William. I was about to pull out a matchbook. With your light guiding the way, you would move further into the cave, which yawns wide around you, and until the sliver of natural light from the entrance disappears, the fort speaks again. It's been years since I've been here, decades even at this point. I'll always remember the eye bats as one of my first discoveries when I arrived at Gravity Falls. How did you find them in the first place? One got into my house, you see. I was making breakfast one morning and managed to find my cereal box. When I poured the cereal into the bowl, it came fluttering out, agitated, like it belonged there. The nerve! He still sounds so indignant even years later that you laugh. I wanted to contain it for further study, but unfortunately it managed to get away. As I thought about it afterwards, its pupil constricted against the light. I'm familiar with the bright light in the kitchen, so it's either nocturnal or it lives in the deepest, darkest cave in Gravity Falls. I found them easily after that. Did you manage to capture one? Somewhat. I came running through this cave with a butterfly net in my wits. I brought a working flashlight that time. They all hid in dark corners. Once I turned my flashlight off, they flocked to me. I caught 18 of them that day, but reminded me of the stealth uses of the rapid sound of clicking claws against stone startled you, a shiver running up your spine. Ah! Oh no! Ford, save me! The dark. I don't know why, but that was just so funny. Eventually, the narrow passage widens into a large room. The darkness shrouds... Protect us, Ford! The darkness shrouds the source of dripping water from view, but as your eyes adjust, you squint to see a strange winged shadow. A shadow with eyes that glow red in the near darkness, like rubies. Your breath catches in your throat as the realization comes over you. Ford is apparently close to you in the room. When you finally speaks a few inches away from your shoulder, you catch the shadow of an arm swing out like a wide arc, like he's introducing you to. William, I'd like you to meet the Mothman. he whispers, but even in the dark you'd see him grinning excitedly at you. Autism! Ford looks between you and the Mothman, apparently hoping for a dramatic reaction. Your speechlessness seemed to satisfy him. Don't worry, he hasn't noticed us yet. Ford, where are you? I can't see you!
Oh, by the way, guys, in a while from now, I don't know when, but there's a Markiplier ego dating game that somebody's coming out with Markiplier, and it's called The Ideal Applier, and obviously I'm going to play it, man. I am going to play that when it comes out. Like, why would I not? Don't worry, he hasn't noticed us, sis. Here's the plan. You make contact with Mothman, and I pulls out a butterfly net, a large lidded jar. Now, where that one came from within his coat of mysteries is lost hue. Came from his ass. We'll capture one of the 100 moths that comprise... What? One of the 100 Excuse me? Is it a man made out of moths? Is that what Mothman is? Is it a bunch of moths that are climbing all over each other in the shape of a large humanoid moth? And I feel like I'd rather not know the answer, but I think I have to know now. Yeah. You're heading in with a butterfly net? Seriously? Isn't that a little dangerous? I had to get to touch Mothman? The Mothman? Yes, and it turns you 100 black witch moths. Like experience a swarm of locusts, surprising when you're not expecting it. Or even just a light touch is enough. Seal yourself, waiting for its signal. He waves his hand to coax you forward, and then it's up to you to decide how to, well, make contact. Why did battle music start playing? Approach it with stealth, run straight for— Hey, Mothman! What should be our attack? Run at it? Yeah, sure? Approach with stealth. Because I'm listening to the things that Ford said, unlike you guys who aren't listening to what Ford said. Tiptoe towards the Mothman, remembering Ford's comment on the dark and trying to channel your inner stealth skills. Of course, that's the moment your phone starts to blast Aching Over Midnight by Aunt Sandra. Oh my god, Mabel, why? Getting stuck in your shirt and skittering around your face, surrounding you in mothy hell. Ugh. Your task accomplished, Ford rushes to a large swarm of moths, waving the butterfly net with a few unsuccessful swipes. Try swatting the more aggressive ones away, but there are too many. Run up to Ford and start swatting those monsters with your finger. Oh god, I don't want them to come towards me because then he's gonna hit me with the net. I mean, maybe I want that. Why are you looking— Oh, did I do something wrong? I might have done something wrong. I don't like how he's looking at me. Ford, I'm sorry. I can't look back at my computer. Ah, I did do the right thing! Yay! Well, that could have gone better, but we succeeded nonetheless. As Ford pockets the jar, you turn off the light. With no light and no threat to focus on, the cloud disperses. That was amazing! Ford laughs, brushing dust and dirt off his trench coat. You could say that. Our completed repellent is within sight. Let's head back. You sure? Do we... I don't know if I want to go for a high five. It's like canon within the Gravity Falls universe that he doesn't like high fives because of his hands. He doesn't like them, though. I don't want to be mean to him. I'm just gonna pretend like I totally... Yeah, no. When you and Ford finally reach the cave entrance, you find the forest that you left in the dying light of now awash with a silvery glow. The gaps between the leaves overhead provides a view of the night sky along with a long string of stars. A few more steps and the Milky Way comes into view. Aren't we in the Milky Way? I thought we're in the Milky Way. What do you mean it comes into view? Okay, fine. See something? Pterodactyl usually doesn't come out this late, but being a prehistoric creature, its behavior is rather unpredictable. Magic! Never seen the Milky Way in person before. It looks amazing. Isn't it? It's remarkable what you can see without light pollution from the city. Exactly! I hate light pollution! I love space! Here on the outskirts of town, you can see a good portion of the Milky Way every night. You both stare up at the sky in comfortable silence a few moments. The quiet of the forest settles in, along with the distant sound of flowing water, and you find yourself surprisingly glad that Ford accidentally pulled you here. This is one of the moments you get to experience. In the corner of your eye, you swear you see Ford looking at you instead of up, but when you tilt your head back down, his attention's elsewhere. Hey there, baby girl. I can treat you better than that trying. I gotta stop. Eventually, the two of you come to a wordless mutual agreement to continue on, and you're walking again. You have to show me the other creatures that live here sometime. Glad you said so. When you look over and find that Ford looks pleasantly surprised to hear it. His chest puffs out wide with pride. Of course, we will even get to spot the hide behind, or tag along with Dipper when he visits the next multi-bear. The what? Ford taps his temple, grinning. You have to wait until I show you to find out. Stop looking at me like that! Stop looking at me like that, man! You're not helping! You're not helping, man! You're not helping. If you think you're helping, you're not. It's not helping. Stop looking at me like that. I love him so much, too. He's so... Oh, I love him. I'm holding you to that. We have some time left before we get back if you're up for another walk. Oh, definitely. Just make a face because Ford looks back to you and laughs. We're not far, I promise. I just thought I might answer a few of her questions if you have any. Actually, I do have questions. Yeah, let's stay. You'll stay in great shape if you do this all day. You know... Actually, this sort of thing isn't part of my exercise regime. Ford turns left, the stone marker turns sounds the river, and sure enough, after a while it comes to view, and the moonlight illuminates the water as you walk along it. Oh, that's so pretty. Emergency being that just one had to jump into the lake. For neither of yourself nor Stanford really look in the direction of the diving board, he leads you towards the edge of the lake where a relatively flat boulder could substitute for a bench, and the two of you take a seat. What should we ask? Stars? Okay, we'll ask about the stars. You ask Ford if he has a favorite constellation, and his answer comes faster than you expected. Ryan and Ursa Major, without a doubt. What about you? To see if that's an actual constellation or they just made that up. Let me look that up, hold on. Search. Oh my god! It's a real constellation! I'm on my own with this one? Oh god, I want to click the triangle one, but that might trigger PTSD! I'm gonna say Ursa Major. Oh, you must have good taste. I really wanted to click the triangle one, man. I really wanted to click the triangle one, man. I feel like he'd be the type of person, I feel like he'd, not the type of person, I feel like he'd say, that one's my least favorite and I hope it explodes. Ask about other creatures of Gravity Falls. Sad to wait, but can I at least get a preview of what I'd be getting into? Not content to leave them to discover yourself. Well, has anyone told you about the Gobblewonker? Oh, the Gobblewonker! Snore, taken aback by the name, compose yourself when Ford simply raises an eyebrow. I don't think so, no. Not even the tourist guide. Does the office even read my letters? Ford mutters to himself, something about updating the tourist guide to warn against local dangers. He sighs with a frustration that's reserved for bureaucracy. It soon lightens up the prospect of getting to introduce you to another strange creature. Well, the Gobblewonker is a large sea creature that lives in this very lake. One could say it's our version of the Loch Ness Monster. My old research assistant apparently saw it at some point. He said it was a large, gray, scaly, with a long neck like a giraffe. You wouldn't have had any odd sightings yet, have you? It's only been 24 hours, but my own first encounter with the strange occurred shortly after my arrival as well. Last night. I mean, I may have been having some dreams, not apart from today. Don't count on that from being the norm, William. In fact, the norm is laughable concept here. I really like, because I named myself William, obviously, because of the channel name, Inaccurate Afton. The whole thing's supposed to be themed after William Afton. You know what would be my mind can't get the thought out of my head? That's like William Afton. William Afton was driving out here on a road trip and he's like, my car! And then he gets crashed and he's like, Men who are 20 years older than me? Yeah. 20 or 10, maybe 15. William Afton's either in his 40s or 50s, but the Stan twins are almost 70. I think they are 70. Ask about his family. What is Mabel like? Sure, a force to be reckoned with. She radiates charm and positivity. Has depths of determination, I can only guess at. Find out for yourself, most likely. It's not hard to wake up one day and find yourself a friend. Perhaps you already are. Sus! Of course I'll ask for more. He wiggles his fingers in the air spookily, and you laugh. I don't doubt it. What's Stan like? Stubborn, foolhardy, a liar, and a cheapskate. But a true hero at heart. There's no one else I'd rather call my brother. Aw, that's sweet! Knowing what Stan did in the show. Seuss. The handyman Seuss. He's, well, I'm still not sure what he does exactly, but Stan gave him the rights to conduct his business with the shack, so he spends his day giving out tours, selling merchandise, fooling the townsfolk, giving no refunds, and the like. I may not have been around the original Mystery Shack very often while Stan was still running it, but I believe Seuss is doing the brand name good. What's Dipper like? Dipper is very intelligent. In many ways, he reminds me of, well, myself. Last summer, he found the research journals I mentioned. Instead of overlooking them, he made some impressive contributions of his own. He hasn't started his own journal, and I look forward to see where his life will take him. He's made me prouder than I can say. Look at the Mystery Shack. Ah, yes, the Mystery Shack. Used to be my house once upon a time, and now it's a tourist trap. Imagine your house being turned into a tourist trap. Could never be me. I've returned. I'm glad to see what it's become as a home. I just wish it weren't so offending to each of the senses. Ask about staying. Are you really okay with me staying here? Absolutely. I owe it to you after all. You're helping me today, however, was not part of the plan. You're making it rather hard to settle my debt. I mean, no, I just came here to help. I just came here. I think you did me a favor by just letting me come along today. Do have your share a smile. Aww. Ford looks out across the lake and thought, well, you might have to admit, I didn't want to take you with me earlier today. I thought I'd be walking myself into an uncomfortable social situation. So did you, to be honest. And you did well out there. Not many tourists can handle that kind of task and just be completed. This had the potential to go on disastrously. I mean, a butterfly net against Mothman? Easily a 3% success rate. Sometimes, the more Ford speak, the less reassured you feel until all that's left is distant unease. You smile and nod anyways. Yeah, he talks too much. That's the autism. Do two of you sit in another moment of quiet, the night air pleasantly chill around you until Ford again breaks it? You should head back now. I'm sure Mabel will want to hear we've been successful. You stand and give Ford a hand up from the makeshift bench. Ford takes the lead again, and soon you're no longer able to catch sight of the lake when you glance back. Ford gradually adjusts his pace to yours, walking alongside by side with you in companionable silence, and walks all the way back to the shack. Almost there. Recognize from incredibly flashy signs touting the phrases like Mystery Shack this way and Sasquatch to your left that you are extremely close to arriving back at the shack. Seeing Ford leave the tree line, you see the bright light shining on the porch. You make out a faint to the outlined kid shadow as they run through the house and emerge in the attic window. Mabel pushes it open, leaning out. Grunkle Ford! Finally! You guys took so long! I had time to cover waddles and macaroni! Why would you do that? I had my reasons. Did you get the thing? Yes, and I'm coming inside so we can stop shouting. William, come along. We've got a pig to save. Ford strides into the shack on a man on a mission. You grin and follow, but not before taking one last look at the night sky. Yeah, maybe your stay won't be too bad after all. Back inside the shack, the great conclusion of your expedition to the Mothman's cave is spritzing Mabel's pig with a newly finished deterrent until the poor pig reeks of lavender. You see Maple and Dipper head up to bed, looking sleepier than usual. Something about lavender is so soothing to the senses that you crash out fairly soon afterwards, face first onto your makeshift bed. Love meter! Oh! Well, looks like this thing is actually working. I love the drawing! I just looked at the drawing. Oh, he looks so silly! Why is it so funny? He okay, anyways. You wake up to a loud crash downstairs, not entirely uncommon in this house, you're quickly finding out, but still disconcerting. More ladders and thumps lead you to the kitchen where Mabel teeters on a short step ladder in front of the pantry. Standing on her tiptoes, she reaches as high as she can for a small yellow box on top of the shelf. Pancake mix. A little worried, you go to her side and pluck the box from the shelf on top of her, placing it into her outstretched hand. Oh, William! Thank you! Grunkle Stan put it on the top shelf for some reason, but I need some Mabel cakes. It's a breakfast emergency! She bagels her furry fingers into your face and you can't help but laugh. You can tell the house becomes more alive when this kid's around. Well, help me make them? We only need chocolate milk, coffee, pink food coloring, and pot of goldzos to make breakfast dream a breakfast reality. As delicious as that sounds, you're inclined to ask where the coffee comes into the mix when you realize this house is suspiciously quiet. Mabel, where is everybody? Oh, Grunkle Stan needed stuff for your car, so we went to the Mecky-Techy stuff for that. I think Grunkle Ford's somewhere. He heard the abominable bro man was... Oh, Dipper. Dipper's talking. Where did Dipper come from? He heard the abominable bro man was trying to steal soda from campers, so he went to help them out. Dipper... Why do you look so traumatized, man? What happened to you? Jesus Christ! This poor kid. Yep, that's where he went. Totally knew that. So they left you guys to make breakfast on your own? You don't know the family well enough to get to know this is commonplace, so the idea of leaving two teenagers alone to fend for themselves seemed fine if one of the teenagers wasn't Mabel anyways. You don't know how coffee fits into her Mabel. I like how Dipper's just standing there awkwardly. But now you don't really want to know. Dipper attempts to hide the pancake mix from Mabel when she's grabbing the chocolate milk from the fridge. Apparently he doesn't want to find out either. Mabel, will your Mabel cakes sound absolutely divine? Why don't we think of something so you don't hurt her feelings? Dipper, can you cook? No. Cough, cough, weird Mageddon, cough, cough. Dipper, can you cook? Go out for breakfast. There's somewhere we can go out for breakfast? We should really save the Mabel cakes till your great uncles get back. I know they wouldn't want to miss them. But I want to perfect my recipe. I have to get better at cooking and baking and stuff so I can survive out there in the world. What if in high school I have to bake stuff and people are better than me? Mabel looks very agitated, tugging at her hair with both hands. If I can't make the perfect Mabel cakes, I can never be on Bad Dreams Dining. I gotta impress Gerald Ramon. William, it's my destiny. Dipper, can you cook? Maybe Dipper can help you make something different. We should make Mabel cakes for another day, or a special day. But William... Mabel, still standing on her stepladder, reaches up and squishes your cheeks together, wide eyes staring into your soul. Every day is a special day with Mabel cakes. You glance at Dipper, making a please help me and I'll buy you breakfast face as you hope he understands. Yeah, Mabel, I know you want to cook more since you're becoming an adult. Sure, but don't you think Grunkle Stan and Great Uncle Ford should be here to try them too? And not just me, again. Mabel hops off the stepladder and ponders her brother's question, lips pursed, and eventually she nods, beaming at you both. You're right, Dipper! I can't deny them that experience. You give Dipper a thankful smile over in Mabel's head as she puts the ingredients back in the refrigerator. He grins back at you, rubbing the back of his neck. I wonder if he got that from one of his grunkles. I wonder which one. I wonder which one! That's clever now that you think about it. Great and uncle put to make grunkle. Saves time on syllables. We should go to Greasy's. They have some of the best pancakes there. With like 3 different kinds of syrup, if you ask Lazy Susan nicely. Yeah, it's not super far. Let's go! The kids are about to head out of the kitchen when you realize something. Wait. Aren't you going to leave a note for your grunkles about where we're going? Oh, right. Good call. Mabel scribbles out a note for Stan and Ford and sticks it on the door of the shack with one of Mabel's stickers. The kids leave the way out of town, explaining various landmarks and the wild, wonderful stories that attract them along the way. And this is where we saw those 2 ghostly old people. The convenience store? Strange, but you know, regardless. Maybe she just meant they were so old they looked like ghosts. Well, after what you heard about Gravity Falls already, you could believe they were real ghosts. Dipper points out in the distance a log-shaped building atop a train cart, and the 3 of you head inside. You soon realize the kids just know just about everyone in this town. Several people, young and old, wave at them as the three of you find a table, and you get the feeling that they're almost famous in Gravity Falls. You're not just entirely sure why. I wonder why! They're pretty cute though. Mabel blows the wrapper of her straw in Dipper's face, and he retaliates by swatting her with a laminated menu. An elderly woman in a pink pastel dress comes up to the table, and you sketch the name on her tag, Susan. Hiya, kids and stranger. What can I get for you? Pancakes and all 3 syrups for me, please, Lady Susan. Same for me, actually. Lazy Susan turns to you, no pen in hand. What will you get? Pancakes. Coming right up, sweet. Lazy Susan winks with her good eye, of course, and heads to the back of the diner. They wait for your food to arrive. The wait for your food to arrive feels longer here than most, mainly due to Mabel and Dipper using the time to interrogate you. First, it's someone intimidating. You literally crash at their house and started hanging out with their great uncle, so they have lots of questions. Once the irrational fear of 2 13-year-olds fades out, you recognize their interview for what it really is. They care about their uncles. You start hanging out with them more, and they want to know as much about you as possible. Mabel's question's somewhat non-sexual. Not sexual. Nonsensical. I'm thinking of things, okay? So if you were in a stranded desert with no boat, no cheating, what would you take with you? Dippers are more careful and calculated. What were you doing before you came here? School? Work? Both? Neither? Did you know about Gravity Falls before you crashed into the shack? You immediately know which grunkle each twin takes after. Stan and Mabel, goofy partners in crime, versus the quiet brainiacs, Ford and Dipper. It's an intriguing contrast, especially now you're thrown into the middle of the bunch. The twins race to see which syrup bottle drips into their mouths the fastest. Dipper's blueberry syrup meets Mabel's classic Mabel by half a millisecond. You swear on it. You know, these kids do a lot more for their great uncles than just be cute counterparts. And here we go! Enjoy, kiddos! Let me know if you need anything else. Lady Susan gives out her respective plates, and the kids go quiet, shoveling food down like they've never been fed before. Between mouthfuls, you get a few more questions about yourself and theories on the aliens versus which member of M synchronized was your favorite. But the table is near silent as the 3 of you eat. That is until Mabel speaks through a mouthful of pancake. So, William, if in a totally made-up and not real situation, if you had to pick who your favorite was, who would you pick? Grunkle Stan or Grunkle Ford? This seems too planned compared to her other cutesy questions. Dipper elbows his sister and not so subtly as she yells at him right back. Wide eye staring at him in a sibling-linked look you can't decipher. Like, say you're in a movie, like one of those weird Grunkle movies Grunkle Stan watches on the TV with the ladies in the poofy dresses riding horses. Awfully specific, but you let her continue taking another bite with your food. The main character of this movie, and you got 2 guys who are both madly in love with you. This one doesn't mess around with getting right to the point, huh? But you can only marry one of them, so you could be the next in line for the throne. What would you do? If Grunkle Stan and Grunkle Ford were your choices, who would you go with? Mabel, that's kinda weird, isn't it? Like, really weird and kinda gross. Come on, Dipper, this is important information that's vital to my research! What research? None of your business, yet, but I'm still gathering other research. Mabel leans towards Dipper's ear to whisper, waggling her brow at you before she replies, and not a whisper, but quite the opposite. Research into how you're a huge nerd! With that, Mabel catapults a spoonful of melted butter atop her pancakes and onto Dipper's cheek with a very satisfying splat. Dipper jerks in disgust, but retaliates by smearing strawberry syrup onto Mabel's nose, dropping stickiness, plopping onto her sweater. Ew, gross! You're gross! There's no vitriol between the twins, but lots of giggles and a few more various food missiles. Eventually, the stirrup streaks Mabel's cheekbones and some of her hair, and Dipper has a small piece of pancake. Dipper has a small piece of pancake stuck to his face. You guys are dorks. Maybe you're right, but we're twins, so it's adorable. If you say so, Mabel. Wait, quick, William. Take a picture of us while Dipper's got pancake on his face. I have what? He swipes quickly at his face, and after several passes, it gets off. Oh, I was trying to get a more candid picture of us. Mabel, you have syrup everywhere. Really? Then it would have been a perfect photo. Here, let me get it. Your hands are sticky enough. Get back up with a napkin in hand and try to wipe some of the syrup off of Mabel's cheeks. The excess syrup swipes off easily, but a good portion doesn't budge. I mean, maybe syrup as makeup is the next new look. That's one word for it, kid. Stan! It's the Stans! Hi, Ford. And Stan. Hi, Ford. We wondered where you went once we came back to a suspiciously quiet house. If it weren't for Dipper's note, we would have been worried. Sixer would have been worried. I tried to tell him you kids pull this kind of stuff all the time, heading out unannounced, putting stress in your poor old grunkle's heart. He puts a hand over his heart dramatically. All those missing hours of unpaid child labor! Actually, that note wasn't me. Well, I wrote it, but it was Williams the one who said we should... that you know where we went. Both Ford and Stan look at you, surprised. Really figure these two knuckleheads dragged you here. I'm gonna make breakfast at home. This place is at least 15-minute walk from the shack. Well, gonna have to Dipper, swiping a finger across Mabel's cheek and licking the blueberry syrup off. Mabel had pancake in her mouth, chewing on it like a grazing sheep. I wanted to treat them to something, I guess. It's the least I could do. You're letting me stay with you and fixing my car. I thought since you were gone, I'd take these two out for a change. Also, Mabel was gonna make Mabel cakes again. You're just mad you can't even make toast right. Oh, yes, I can! I burned it one time! One time! Dipper holds his syrup-tipped finger in the air, indignant. Well, Mabel wanted you guys to enjoy her Mabel cakes too, and since there wasn't much food, I figured I'd take them out. Stan snatches the pancakes from Mabel's mouth and takes a bite out of it, cackling when she stands off the seat to try and grab it back. Climbing over Dipper to reach, aside from the kerfuffle, he catches Ford's eye. Why was he staring at... As soon as he realizes, he quickly sets his gaze elsewhere, looking over your head and out the window. You say he probably just shifted his attention, but his finger hooks under the high neck of his sweater and tugs at it. Man, I wonder why. Oh god! I'm so glad I downloaded this game. This is so fun. I mean, hold on, I'll be back. I'm very hot right now. I need to go turn on a fan, don't I? I'm back. Well, William, I appreciate you looking after Dipper and Mabel for us. It was very kind of you to bring them here. That wasn't a big deal, really. I'm happy to help. Smile at him, pretending you don't know, you don't feel how warm your face is. Maybe it's just hot and greasy. Ford looks close to the shade of his sweater. Ah, he's blushing! Look at him! He's so adorable. Dipper mumbles an ow, and you catch Mabel elbowing his side, waggling her eyebrows at him. You're not sure why. Well, kid, if you're paying, scoot over, Dipper. I want breakfast, too! Stanley, it's at least 12:30 now. Uncle Ford, that means... Oh, wrong voice. Uncle Ford, that means it's time for brunch. Duh. See, this kid gets me. He'll let me in so I can get some grub. Dipper moves to your side, and Booth sits next to Mabel, and Ford sits at Dipper's side. Lady Susan comes back, takes the order of another round of food, and drinks for everyone, including Mabel, who decided she wants more pancakes. Of course you go, girl! Get those pancakes! Anyways. Starting to regret offering to pay, but as Stan and Mabel try their hand at the syrup drip race with Dipper cheering them on, Ford watching with a wide grin on his face, you know you don't really mind that much. Man, this family is so sweet. I love this family. I really hope nothing bad happens to them. I'm gonna be the problem. I'm gonna be the problem. Oh, okay. Anyways, at the expedition to find Mothman, you accompany Ford on a few other missions, so to speak, examining various birds of the forest, including the questionable stomach-faced duck. Snatched your sandwich and quickly ran off, Ford in hot pursuit. Well, he didn't find what evidence he needed, something to do with their digestive systems. You both decided the stomach-faced duck flock were questionable. Not as questionable as the question quail, which he shows you from a scanned journal page, but still questionable. He asked why he decided the octopus was too stupid to study, but received a loud groan and too sticky as an answer. Valid point. All in all, your adventures with Ford have been more enjoyable than you expect, and you can't help but hope you'll get to experience another one with him soon. Adventures. Oh, I didn't read that. You walked through the living room, lost in thought about question quails and Ford's journal page, narrowly avoid slipping on a sheet of graph paper. Ah! Don't look! Oh, it's you. There appears out from a book that proclaims More D, officially licensed campaign journal, sitting on the yellow armchair with crisscross legs barricaded with books and papers. You don't seem to be sitting, Dipper. Yeah, I know, right? This is so good! I love this! He's got a lap of multicolored dice, and a half-dozen chewed pencils strewn across the floor, and one in his mouth. You look down and notice the floor is almost entirely covered in graph paper. Hi. Did you need something? I know it's kind of messy. I should probably clean it up. Dipper looks reluctant to extract himself from his self-constructed fantasy lore prison. Here, I can do it. You look busy. You're about halfway through cleaning the floor before you actually start looking at what's on the various sheets of paper you're holding. Fantasy maps, and floor plans, and countless scribbled notes and calculations in the margins. What are these for? Planning something? Dipper's re-immersed in his planning. He startles a little when you ask, "Oh, right, no big deal. It's just for this great pen and paper role-playing game called Dungeons and More Dungeons. DD and MD for short. It's all about fantasy worlds and statistics and swords and, well, it's kind of difficult to explain, but it's super fun. I love D&D. Playing with Grunkle Ford today, so I'm just putting down the final touches on my dungeon. He's gonna be so stumped. Stumped, you say? Hi, Ford! Ford comes into the room at that precise moment, trying his hands on his trench coat. What were you doing? Perfect timing, Dipper. I just managed to get the paint off my hands. What paint? Paint from what? Hot man alert! Oh, so one of the gnomes came by and decided he'd graffiti on the side of a house. Something about his rapper persona. Yeesh. Yes, I don't think Jay Gnomesy is going anywhere in the music business. In any event, I see you've been hard at work. Ready for our game? Yes, and oh, William, I can take those now. Thanks for the help. Or it looks like he just noticed you standing there for the first time since he entered the room. William, glad to see you weren't too shaken up by your adventure yesterday. You grin and hand Dipper the tall stack of papers, catching a glimpse of the stats for a knock-knock skull. Well, I made it back in one piece, right? That's the spirit, though 90% of a piece would have been good, too. You know, you never realize how little a difference 10% makes until you lose it. What did you lose? What happened? So, how was the Mothman? Shaken up. All in the names of research, though. I've seen it lose a few moths and come back the next week good as new. Process akin to cycling out dead cells. I would say we just expedited that process. No moral issues here. Well, William, the game calls and I must answer. Stanley's about if you're looking for him. Oh, well, wanted to join our game. I certainly wouldn't object. Can promise a fun afternoon. Another player! Yeah, I can totally give you a pre-made character sheet to start. And dice. Shoot, where'd I put my other set? Don't worry, I've got an extra set. Me? I don't even know how to play. Oh man, there are so many rules. Where to start? I mean, it's really easy to pick up. It's even, like, kind of popular now. I'm not sure about committing this whole afternoon, though, with Ford, though Dipper does seem pretty excited about it. Stands around, too, and you wanted to go check on your car. I don't want to check on my car! I'm not checking on my car! I'm not checking on my car! Man, Gamer 69! Stop saying it! Of course I'm joining them! Great! Oh shoot, did you look at the plans earlier? Those were for Dungeon Master's eyes only. If I'd known you were gonna join us... Yeah, I know all your plans. All of them! Don't worry, I didn't look. What a relief. No, wait, what if you're lying to get an edge in the game? Is this legal? Grunkle Ford! What? I didn't hear. I was just categorizing these DD and MD books. How many volumes do they have these days? Dipper and Ford put the final pieces in their place. The floor is encircled in a mix of propped up cork boards, books, maps, notes, and loose leaf paper. Ford unfolds the game board in the center of madness. Brilliant, we're all ready! Don't look so nervous, William. You have me to walk you through it. I'm glad! I'm glad! Very, Ford sits down next to the game board. He pats the piece of carpet next to him, inviting you to sit, and you do. Dipper sits across from you, on the other side of the game board, and folds an illustrated piece of cardboard, propping it up in front of it. Notice your questioning gaze on it, and looks back up at you. Oh yeah, this is just the Dungeon Master's screen. It's there to protect my secrets. I'm aware! I've played D&D before! Shut up, Dipper! You're ruining the moment! It hides essential die rolls and plot points from prying player eyes. Grunkle Forge tried to look ahead once or twice in a spoiled narrative twist, and you were the only player! Just making sure my dungeon mastering apprentice stays on its toes. You can never be too vigilant. Dipper gathers up his dice in a pile next to the DM screen, ready to roll when needed. Now then, I mentioned an extra dice, didn't I? Dice are important, though by no means essential component of gameplay. No adventurer should leave the house without a set. Keep mine in the souvenir velvet dice bag from a local game store. Yes. You can tell me? Where'd you get them? I wanna know. I won't tell anybody. Hide secrets? I won't tell anybody. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. You can tell me. Yeah, you don't have to hide any secrets, Ford. I'm right here, man. You don't have to hide any secrets from me. I'm right here. I won't tell anybody. Anyways, God, I'm such an awful person. What the fuck is wrong with me? Wrong button! Wrong button! Wrong button! Rod retrieves a dark drawstring from his coat and empties it on the floor where dice of all different shapes and sizes come tumbling out. And now for yours. Ford pulls out another matching drawstring from his bag in the depths of his coat. They were having a buy one, get one discount. Go ahead, take a look. These will be yours for the session. Throw these dice up to the carpet well, metallic gold with numbers embossed in black. Fancy. I didn't have enough left to make them from solid gold. I was able to electroplate a set for fun. Mechanical Ford, you electroplated those dice? They're so nice! That didn't mean to rhyme. Maybe you should be the one with a rapping career, not Jay Gnomesy. Ford and Dipper laugh. Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, let me reintroduce our characters. When we last left our heroes, Miv the Meddling trapped in the Great Elven Wizard Verhand, the halfling fighter Tyros in a dungeon filled to the brim with puzzles, riddles, brain teasers. To reach Miv and the end of this journey once for all, we'll have to brave this dungeon's mysteries and escape with their lives intact. Dipper sets two figurines side by side on the game board. One is an imposing figure of flowing robes, the other is much shorter in comparison, but posed with a will to provide himself. Suppose the former is Vernon, and the latter is Tyros. But what would our two heroes find in the first room of the dungeons but a potential ally? Just as trapped as they are, we'll join them in their quest for freedom. Dipper places three figurines on the carpet just off the side of the game board. And you get to choose your character now, William.
These are starters with pre-made templates, so they're good for short notice editions like this. Human bard, dwarf fighter, or orc rogue. Bard, MadGamer69, I need your help. Should I go with a human bard, a dwarf fighter, or an orc rogue? If you don't tell me I'm choosing human bard, you know why I'm choosing bard, too. Rogue, 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 rogue! I know, Dipper! Shut up! You're ruining the moment, man! Jesus! I hope you explode! Anyways, rogues can move around with stealth and know how to pick both pockets and logs. Be an orc rogue? Yes. Deeper moods you're figuring out into the board besides Vernon and Tyros. Alright, what's their name going to be? Alex. Short for Alexandrios. Before trying Alexandrios under his breath a few times. Inventory? Oh god, is it actually gonna make me play? No! Oh! Man! I thought I just skipped the whole thing! Let me skip. Let me skip. Oh, Ford, help me! Hi, Steve Racklin Gamer. Hi. We're playing a Gravity Falls fan game called Swooning Over Stands. Miv murdered my family and now I seek revenge. Ford, help me! Ford, help me. DD and MD is almost entirely imagination, creativity. Go ahead, just make something up. It's half the fun. Ford, help me! I'm just gonna say Ford, help me again. I just woke up here with a headache. Alex explains how they're stuck in Miv's ire and turned to Tyros and share that Miv once bested him in a duel, an embarrassment. Because Miv is a sorcerer and sorcerers aren't known for their physical combat skills. Tyros' defense, he was still young at the time. But none of this matters because to finally face down Miv, they must escape. Oh, this is cool! Oh my god! Oh! Ah! Oh, this is a beat. Huh? Oh, that is... Oh. Ah. That's great. The stained glass, I know, I noticed the stained glass. There's stands and Fords. Oh my god! Wait a damn... Dipper, like, Ford's obviously has Bill on it for a reason. But Dipper's has Bill on it too! His has Bill on it too! No, you can see Bill up here! Oh my god! They're references! And then there's Bill and Stan. That's a reference in the fire. Oh my god, that's a reference to the last episode of the show. Jesus, there's a lot of hidden things in this game. Yes, this is great. You can even see Bill. Oh, I love all the hidden Bills. They're like hidden Mickeys, but better.
Haven't woken up here. Oh, wait, what did he say? Mine use a plain door. On the far wall of the room is a set of red doors, and to the left and to the right are old stained glass windows with weirdly familiar motifs on them. Man, I wonder who this one, and this one is. Proceed with caution, homies. Having woken up here with no recollection of getting here at all, you have no way of knowing which door you came in, should go out of, or even what direction you should head in at all. Help me, Ford! Proceed with caution, homies! Oh my god, wait! Stands as a boat! And it has fire on the top! Oh, that's... Oh! I love these. I love all the hidden details, man. And now you guys decide what you want to do. You might want to look around first. By that, of course, we've been rolling the die to see if we can notice anything. The outcome of nearly every substantial choice we make is tied to a roll of the dice. I'll let you choose what you want to do here, William. And now... smash a window. I wonder what I should do. Take a look around. It shows you a roll for the investigation check. I know! Roll for investigation! Dipper flips through his notebook, ready to tell you what you see. Ah, nice roll. Attached to one of the rolls is a room that reads, proceed with caution, homies. I can tell. What do you do next? What's the state of the door behind us? It's locked. William, here's your chance to do something really cool. You're only one of us who can pick locks. Here, use the D38 to roll a sleight hand of check to see if you can pick that lock. Your D38 check, it's a 31. Since you're a rogue with deft hands, you get a +2 to that roll. 33, nice one. You can pick the lock and the door swings open. Brilliant, let's go this way. As the last of you step through the doorway, it melts, seeping into the wall as if it were never there. Guess we're not going back that way. The chandelier overhead ignites, casting the room in a war-orange glow and revealing an impressive door on the far wall. In front of it is a large cloth-covered lump. Should we take a look around or head straight for the door? Be logical in this. We're playing real D&D. With Ford, nonetheless. We mustn't embarrass ourselves in front of him. Look around, obviously. You form for investigation, just like earlier. Approach it to inspect it as your footsteps grow nearer. The lump shifts, rising to reveal that it is in fact a goblin. The goblin stands to attention and tries to pretend as if it was never asleep. Travelers, I notice thee and demand you answer these riddles 3! Attack the goblin! Answer the riddles. The goblin reaches to a pocket, pulling out a crumpled piece of paper that he unfolds with care. It says 88 keys, but can't open a single door. Answer the riddle. I heard this one before. It's a piano, right? Next, what kind of keys cannot open the door? A lackey? Finally, what is the first thing you did on your adventure? Look around? The door's now open to you. Fabulous, homies! Wow! We didn't need any help! See, we're probably impressing him. Probably. Why are Dipper's eyes so big? I just realized that. And it's not even because he has, like, small child head. No, if you compare his eyes to Ford's, Dipper's eyes are, like, massive. Jesus Christ, man! And with that, you've cleared my goblin puzzle. Well, a fourth of them, anyway. Could have gone so many other ways. Dipper then beams as you follow his line of sight to realize it's because Ford just gave Dipper an encouraging smile of his own. As soon as you enter this next room, the wall melds over in the doorway, sealing you in. Glancing around, the far wall of the room seems to be in a different material and color than the rest. Though it could just be the lighting. To the left, you see a rows of orbs affixed to the wall. Do we inspect the orbs or inspect the wall? Logical choices here, people! We're trying to impress the old man! orbs? Okay! I mean, after inspecting and interacting with the orbs for a few minutes, you come to realize a few things. There are 26 orbs. You can touch them to make them all glow. You only touch 6 of the orbs at a time. Once all 7 are touched, all the orbs fade to their original color. Each orb is labeled with integers that run consecutively from 1 to 26, starting at the leftmost orb. Looks like we need a password for this one, William. If the puzzle is fair, it must be a word we've already been introduced to. One that stands out. Think back to that room again, where Tyros pocketed the note from the first room of the dungeon. What was that word again? Oh, what was the word? Homies? You sure? Yeah! The reads, if you go into the green glass door, you can bring a ball, but not a bat. You can bring a book, but you can't bring a novel. You can bring coffee, but not tea. You can bring letters, but you can't bring numbers. If you wish to pass, you must present an acceptable offering. Interesting one, Dipper. Let's think. A ball, but not a bat. I think I understand, William. What can you bring through the door? Oh! Oh! I want to get this one right. Same! I don't... Oh! Ford, help me! Oh, we have to get this right, man. We have to impress the old man. We have to impress Ford. If we get it wrong, he will be disappointed in us. And we will be deemed failures. And he will no longer love me. Or maybe he'll find my attempt and failure cute. Saddest! Stop staring at me like that, Dipper! Blink for once! Jesus! Hold on! Give me a minute. I'm thinking I wrote the riddle down, thinking... Hourglass. I did it! I did it! I did it! It was hourglass! You can bring an hourglass, but not a watch. Dipper is flipping through his notebook for the next part of the dungeon. Ford nudges you, holding up